Hello traders and welcome to the market opening preview on a Tuesday, May 24th, 2016. Traders coming to you live from Thailand. Traders, this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Great to be with you on a Tuesday. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more price action than we did on a Monday. Ooh, very slow yesterday. Wow, unbelievable. But got a lot to talk about today. Got a little bit of news to talk about, and of course, look at our day ahead. And the week, I hope, will start to pick up as we move further into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We have a little bit more data coming out, so hopefully the week will start to pick up in some price action. We can get some really nice trades going. Traders, let's get started. However, let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilday. I am your moderator for the market opening preview series every single trading day before the London Open. Traders, I will tell you that I do record this during the Asia session. This way, if you're looking at this at London, just go back about 10 candles, 10, 12 candles, and you'll be able to see where I started this recording. Traders, I started trading in the year of 2006, and in 2008 I was very fortunate to retire from a 27-year career as a firefighter paramedic out of the great state of Florida. Traders, 9 days later, got on the big bird, came to Thailand for a 2-month holiday. Well, traders, I'm in my 9th year and I'm still here. Enjoy trading in the Asia time zone. It's great. Up early in the morning, sleep somewhat late at night, and I get to get a little taste of course, the complete Asia session, the complete London session, and I get about 2.5 hours in New York session. However, I trade a different instrument in New York. I trade options. So I do not trade Forex in the New York session, and the reason is I'm only looking at the computers for about 2 hours at the most, maybe 2.5, just depends on what's going on and what news announcements have come out and how the markets have reacted. So how do I trade? Well, I listen to fundamentals. I pay for a news feed. I think it's very important. I have a good news feed. You know what's going on, especially if you're a full-time trader. If you're a part-time trader, and I know finances sometimes gets a little bit hard, there's a lot of ways you can get you can get data from different websites and things like that. But you need to have a good economic calendar. And of course, you can go to our site at fxclearing.com and you can obtain a really nice economic calendar right on the front page. So I listen to news that's global and and need to know and when data is coming out, when data is not coming out, and any surprises that happens to happen, like earthquakes and hurricanes and stuff like that. So we need to keep an eye on all that stuff all day long. However, I'm a technician. I love looking at charts. I love looking at candlesticks. Man, candlesticks tell you the story, right? Tells you what price action's going on, what strong and what's weak. Then we look at support and we look at resistance and we look at price structure and price failure, right? And then we take all this stuff and we do an analysis on higher and lower time frames and get a good grasp of what the market's doing. What is it telling us, right? What story is it telling us? And we put together a trade plan. And after we put together the trade plan, we act on the trade plan. If price comes to us, we don't go chasing price. No matter what, we do not chase price. If we miss it, folks, there's 41 currency pairs out there. I'm sure you can find a pair to trade if you have to click that mouse, right? But click it when you're got it like 70% on your side, right? We need to make pips, right? All right. Okay, traders, that's enough about me. Let's get over to the legal stuff. This is our risk disclaimer. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential of risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex market. Traders, most importantly, please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. Meaning, if you're on a demo account, you build up enough equity to open a live account, you'll notice your trading will change because you will focus for a little bit on that profit and loss box instead of your candles and your trading. Okay, so how's a good way to take care of that? I don't want to get off on a tangent here, but there's a way to take care of that. And one of the ways to take care of that is trade small and trade a lot, right? Trade small and trade a lot. So I only trade 1% of my account on any trade. However, I will have up to 5% of my account out on risk, meaning I can be in 5 trades at one time. So I trade small, but I trade a lot, and you're bound to at least most of the time break even there's no guarantees in Forex. There's no guarantees in anything that you're trading, right? It's all about risk. So we'll talk about some news and commentary here. And I guess that's part of the commentary is, you have to control your risk and you got to control your drawdown but most of all, you need to read charts, right? And get a good grasp of what the market is saying. And we got some good examples of that as we move on. All right, let's take a look at the indices. The Dow 30 was negative 0.05%. The S&P 500 was negative 0.21%. The Nasdaq was negative 0.08%, and the small cap 2000 also in the red at 0.20%. Trades, let's head on over to the Eurozone, where the DAX is in the negative, closed in the negative at 0.74%. The FTSE 100 also negative at 0.32%. The CAC 40 out of Paris was negative 0.66%. And the Euro Stoxx 50 was negative 0.76%. Everybody's in the red yesterday. Everybody's in the red. All right, let's take a look at Asia. Some of these countries are open and some of them have not opened yet. They'll open in about 52 minutes. The Nikkei 225, however, is open and is negative 0.72%. The S&P ASX 200 out of Australia is currently negative 0.11%. The China A50 closed yesterday at negative 0.06%. And the Hang Seng out of Hong Kong also closed yesterday in the negative 0.22%. The Kospi, however, out of Seoul is currently trading and is negative 0.35%. Traders, let's take a look at the economic calendar. Not a lot going on today. Later in the Asia session, we have RBA Governor Stevens speaking, and that's about it. That wraps it up for anything that's going to move anything in Asia. However, we get into the European session. Actually, it's an hour before the London markets open. We have German GDP quarter on quarter. They're expecting 0.7%. Previous was also 0.7%. So they're not expecting any change there. Later in the day, in the London session, we have the German zoo economic sentiment. That's a market mover. The consensus is 12.0%. Previous was 11.2%. So they're looking for a notch up on that one. And as we move down and we take a look around, not a lot going on. We have new home sales in the U.S. session today. So they're expecting 523. Previous was 511. Again, they're looking for a notch up also in that area. So we do have news in all of our sessions today. So hopefully I keep the markets bouncing around a little bit and get some pips moving here, right? We need some price action. So let's get started. Let's hit the euro dollar. Euro dollar is exactly where it was yesterday. It did come down, came back up. However, folks, this is really, really an ugly chart. This is not a pretty chart. Look at these candles, right? You got all this to fight through to get out. Now we're below where we're currently. This current candle is below the 55 EMA. So I want to get in this at about 12.12. And we'll take this down to 1.1182. This is only a 30 pip trade, folks. This is really nasty price action. I mean, really, the best trade is if this would just go all the way up, back up to this 200 exponential moving average and bounce and give us our down move. But I don't think that's going to happen. However, this is going to be an interesting day on the euro. But this price chart is just absolutely really. We have a lot of Forex junk, as I call it, left of the chart. And, we have support here at 1190, and we're looking at getting out at 1182, right? So there's going to be a tough trade. I wouldn't give this a long leash. I'd give it maybe a 10 pip or a 12 pip stop, and it's either going to work or it's not. We just need a nice bearish candle below this 55 EMA, and we can get in it. As we can see, the 10 EMA is on top of price, which is really good for our trade. All right, let's take a look at the pound dollar. Pound dollar really hasn't done anything since yesterday. It's really much been sideways. It came down a little bit, but not a lot. And we expected that yesterday. If you remember, I thought it was going to be slow. I'm looking for an aggressive pullback, folks. We really would love to get 1.4548 back at this R1, but we know about the pound dollar and its personality. It does not like giving pullbacks. So we could take this now at 1.4484. However, we do have a very light Asia session, and I would really wait for London Open, see if we can get a break to the downside. And of course, your stop would just go above the 55, that blue line on the chart, and just take this to the downside. I don't have a take profit area, to be honest with you, because I don't know where I'm getting in. So, I can't figure out my risk to reward and all that, because price hasn't done anything that is saying, okay, take this trade. So again, I'm looking for a London Open trade here. Now, there's nothing wrong with entering it now and then put your stop. It's got to be above the daily pivot. Where you put it is where you put it, but it's got to be above that daily pivot point. So that's what I'm looking at the pound dollar. Let's take a look at the Aussie dollar. Again, this did come down yesterday, which we expected, and now it's, again, pretty much at the same place it was yesterday, right below the daily pivot point and below the 55, and it's testing the 10 EMA. I do like this trade now at 0.7220, and we'll take this down to S1 at 0.7190. So, again, these are not big trades, folks. These are 30 pip trades, 40 pip trades. We want to get in the market and get out of the market. We're not looking for the 200 pip home runs here. The market, in my opinion, is too unstable to be doing that stuff. So we just want to get this to give us a nice 30 or 40 pips, and we'll get out of this. But we'll have to wait and see. Again, in Asia, I wouldn't do anything, especially that the RBA governor is speaking in about 3 hours from now. So I wouldn't touch this until London Open. He's got to stop talking before we get into a trade on the Aussie dollar, right? All right, let's look at the Euro Aussie. This is just outright just ugly, my friends. This is yesterday's chart. This hasn't done anything. And if you remember yesterday, I did say that I was concerned that this was just going to bounce around here because there was too many indecision candles. Well, you know what? There's still too many indecision candles, and this is just not a comfortable situation to be in. I want to get this back up to resistance at 1.5555, and we'll get out at 1.5470. Now, this is a nice trade if it works, but this does not look appetizing at all, my friends. And again, this is another Aussie trade, right, where the Aussie's involved. So this is also a London Open trade. I wouldn't touch this at all until it made a move. This is just in the middle of a mess. Again, look left of the chart, and that's what I'm looking at, and that's why I'm saying this is just not nice. We like clear, wide open spaces. And let me give you an example of that. Let's take a look at the Euro Yen. Here's a trade that's really nice and clean. Look at how this trade worked out so beautifully yesterday. I hope some traders took advantage of these videos yesterday and grabbed onto this Euro Yen bandwagon yesterday. It was a dream trade. This was really, you made some really nice pips yesterday. If you got even half of what it did, you did very well. So, we're looking for the same thing, right? We're not going to chase this price. We got, 4 blue candles, but they're really, really wimpy, and they don't show any kind of decisive decision in my book. So let's get back up to this daily pivot at 122.75, 77, somewhere in there. And we'll get out at 122.08. That'll give us a nice 62 pip trade. 61 pip trade, and we'll be very happy with that. I didn't see anything today as far as anybody out of Japan or talking today. I didn't see PM Prime Minister Abe or Bank of Japan Governor Kuroda speaking. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we definitely are bearish in the Euro Yen. Bearish, my friends. Bearish, bearish, bearish. Let's take a look at New Zealand dollar. This pair is where we were pretty much. Well, it was on the up move yesterday, if you remember. Then it came back down and did well until it got late into the New York, and now it's absolutely just sideways. And now we're at support. We're a really not a good area here. Now, I do like the EMAs, though. If you look at the 200, which is the green line, the 55, the blue line, and then, of course, the 10 is the brown line, which is just above price. I'm expecting price action is going to wait for these 10 EMA to catch up. However, they're all pointed to the downside. So all I want to do is sell this. I just need an entry, but I just want to sell this. So we'd like to get in this at 0.6764. We'll get out at 0.6712. This is a nice 48 pip trade to the downside. We just need this to pop up a little bit, and we'd like to see this at the London Open. So that's what I'm looking at there. Trade is right on time today, right at the 15-minute mark. And traders, on behalf of myself, William Gilday, and our great friends at FXCL Excellence in Trading, I want to thank you for joining me on a Tuesday, May 24th, 2016. Traders, always remember to trade smart and not hard. Traders, have a great trading day, and we'll see you in about 24 hours. Take care now. Bye-bye.